Hi, it's Neil from Diagonal Move here. I've just finished playing through the 3-day campaign of Gettysburg from Battle Hymn Volume 1, Compass Games. Game itself has finished a little bit earlier than the 3 days on the evening of the second day, turn 22, and it finished with a decisive victory for the Confederate Army. The game itself requires a combination of objectives and victory points to finish earlier than the full 3 days, and in this particular case the Confederates controlled their necessary objectives here, and the Union similarly controlled enough objectives down here to qualify for a victory also. However, the deciding factor was the sheer number of casualties on the Union side, which is up here. As you can see, it's a tremendous number of casualties on the Union side, and it's casualties really that determine victory points. The Confederates also suffered a fair number of casualties as well, but nowhere near as many as the Union did. Although it's interesting to note that the actual eliminated units, so completely out of the game, there was just one. All the rest are what's known as shattered, and that within the game that essentially means they were so demoralised that the units fell apart. Although they would have had a chance to rally had we gone into the third day, the overnight turns give the opportunity to rally. So the game itself progressed fairly as expected, I guess. This is Battle Hymn is a simulation of Gettysburg, although there are optional rules for hidden movement and hidden order of arrival and so on. I didn't use those in this circumstance, so the game started with a few units set up around here by the railroad wood, cavalry units for the Union, and then slowly the Confederates start to arrive up the Chambersburg Pike towards Gettysburg itself, and over the course of the first few turns units start to arrive primarily up that road for the Confederates, and then along the road here and here for the Union. As time goes by, reinforcements do arrive from this area for the Confederates, and also from at the top for the Union. And by the end of the first day, which is 11 turns, the area around Cemetery Ridge and Cemetery Hill, sort of here, becomes a maelstrom of combat against these huge armies. So I played this solo. The initial aim really for the Confederate side, I was assuming the role of the Confederates against the game being the Union, and the game has an at-random system that allows you to play solo a bit more smoothly, although it's really a case of rolling dice to determine what's going to happen in certain situations. So the aim for me was to just move as many forces as possible towards the outskirts of Gettysburg and really try and get whole Confederate control of this area as soon as I possibly could. The Union, on the other hand, there was a few stray units down the bottom of the map, which I sent to try and delay the reinforcements here and here to try and control the ridge. Didn't work out too well, although it did delay the Confederate advance slightly. It was not a massive delay, but sufficient to have most of the second division of the Union army here by the time my Confederate forces got there. And so the final 4 or 5 turns of the first day was the Confederates throwing their men at the ridge in order to try and take it. A situation that didn't work out too well. The Union really had a very, very strong grip all along here, and attacking from this side it's a lot of open countryside, and in the game, this is you roll dice and you hit on a 5 minimum in clear countryside. So that was quite a difficult task to get to the top of that ridge and try and take control from the Union forces. In the meantime, I did try and keep hold of this area with the artillery as much as I could. The night rode through, got a chance to rally, which was helpful. Huge number of reinforcements do come in on the nighttime turn, around turns 12, 13, 14, mostly Union reinforcements. And so it was a case of at dawn on the second day, threw everything possibly could at this ridge in the hope that the dice and the chip pool would fall into favour, and it did. The Confederates took the ridge early on the around about hour 16, I think, 16, 17, took hold of this ridge, and from then on it's just keeping hold of it really as more and more reinforcements pile in from the Union. But there's the units for this unit, the McClaw, I think it is. They are quite strong units, and so placed them on the terrain with a crossfire down the Baltimore Pike, and so then it became very difficult for the Union to take that back. To the point where the strategy changed once the reinforcements were fully on, and we tried to come back round here and to get round behind McPherson's, behind Ceremony Ridge and McPherson's Ridge, in order to try and claim some of these objectives in the hope of the Union being able to win on points. But there were just so many casualties here that was really quite an uphill struggle as soon as the Confederates took hold of Cemetery Hill. It's a great game. I had a lot of fun playing this. It is a long game though. It's been on the coffee table here for over a week, playing a couple of turns a night. And yeah, it's been really, really enjoyable though. I think had it gone into 3 days, I think with extra reinforcements from both sides coming, I don't know how it would have gone. But it was very enjoyable, very good, and it taught me a lot as well, because I didn't really know anything about the history of this battle prior to playing this game, and the designer notes and so on inspired me to go and read a few articles on the battle. It was very interesting stuff. The game itself does come with a second game on a different map for P Ridge, which is probably what I'll play next. And what I'm hoping to do is give a more in-depth video on how to play the game. Perhaps not an in-depth full how to play rules overview, but give it something that gives a gist of how it works. It's a great game, and the map is lovely, and had a lot of fun. Thank you for watching.